The episode of the Drew Barrymore Show featuring Trevor Noah was supposed to be lighthearted. The plan was simple: playful banter about his comedy career, reflections on life after The Daily Show, and maybe a few teasers about his new projects. But what started out as charming small talk quickly shifted into something else entirely. Drew, known for her emotional and probing interview style, leaned further than Trevor expected. Instead of sticking to safe topics, she pushed him towards subjects he had deliberately avoided on his recent press tour. At first, Trevor handled it with his signature humor, deflecting with quick wit and sidestepping with charm. But Drew didn't let go. Her tone shifted from curious to insistent, each question cutting a little closer to the bone. The audience sensed the change. Their laughter faded, replaced by a tense hush as they leaned forward, watching the energy between Drew and Trevor thicken into confrontation. Drew asked about his critiques of Western media, pressed him on global politics, and even hinted at his past relationships, threading it all together in a way that made Trevor visibly uneasy. He leaned back, arms crossed, his easy smile slipping away. "Drew, I didn't come here for an interrogation," he said lightly, but the edge in his voice was unmistakable, caught between her curiosity and the pressure to deliver a headline-making segment. Drew didn't retreat. She doubled down. "But Trevor," she countered, "you've built a career holding others accountable. Don't your fans deserve to see you held accountable too?" The room gasped. The exchange no longer felt like playful television. It had become a standoff. Trevor tried steering things back to neutral ground, cracking jokes about his upcoming specials. But Drew refused to let go. She asked bluntly if he had gone soft since leaving The Daily Show, if avoiding politics now meant he cared more about career comfort than principles. Trevor's jaw tightened, his eyes narrowing. "That's a cheap shot," he said firmly, his South African accent sharpening every syllable. "You don't get to question my integrity just because I won't hand you a viral clip." "For the first time," Drew faltered. Her trademark smile dimmed, but she still leaned forward, pressing softly, almost pleadingly. "But isn't that the problem, Trevor? People want truth. Sometimes the ones who used to fight for it retreat into comfort. Don't you owe your audience more?" That was the breaking point. Trevor calmly reached for his microphone and unpinned it from his shirt. The faint static filled the silence, amplifying the gravity of his choice. Rising to his feet, he towered over the stage. "No, Drew," he said, voice steady but cutting. "What I owe my audience is honesty. On my terms, not on yours. If this is how you think truth comes out of people, then maybe you're the one who owes them more." The studio erupted. Some gasped, others clapped nervously as Trevor walked off stage, his tall frame disappearing behind the cameras. Drew sat frozen, her hands clasped tightly, visibly rattled. Producers scrambled and rushed the show into a commercial break, the transition clumsy and awkward. When the broadcast returned, Drew attempted to recover, forcing a shaky laugh. "Well," she said, her voice trembling, "I guess some conversations end themselves." But the moment was already bigger than her show. Within hours, clips of Trevor's walkout flooded TikTok and Twitter. Hashtags like Trevor walks out and Drew vs. Trevor trended globally. The internet divided sharply. Some praised Drew for asking hard questions, others defended Trevor's right to set boundaries. Instagram reels, YouTube recaps, and endless memes spread the moment across the globe, ensuring it would live far beyond a single afternoon taping. Drew's team quickly went into damage control. They released a carefully worded statement praising Trevor as an extraordinary talent and framing the walkout as a passionate moment in an otherwise beautiful conversation. Trevor stayed silent for days, until finally addressing it during a stand-up set in New York. "I thought Drew Barrymore wanted daytime calm," he quipped to a roaring crowd. "Turns out she wanted 60 minutes. I wasn't ready for that crossover." The audience laughed, but beneath the joke, the sting was clear. Industry insiders began speculating about the fallout. Some said Trevor's walkout could hurt future talk show bookings. Others argued it made him more relatable, a celebrity unafraid to stand his ground. Drew, on the other hand, faced harsher scrutiny. Critics debated whether she had gone too far, warning that her approach might spook high-profile guests. Others praised her for giving daytime TV an edge that often felt missing. Celebrities weighed in, too. Comedian Hassan Minhaj tweeted, "Trevor handled that with class. Sometimes walking away is the only punchline you need." Actress Deborah Messing defended Drew. She asked the questions people wanted answered. Why should Trevor get a free pass? The clash had become bigger than two personalities. It was now a cultural flashpoint about boundaries, accountability, and the blurred line between journalism and entertainment, and the feud only escalated. When Trevor appeared on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, Fallon joked nervously, "You're not going to storm out on me too, right?" Trevor leaned in with a smile. "Not unless you start asking me about my exes while pretending it's comedy." The jab was subtle but unmistakable, and headlines the next day framed it as Trevor fanning the flames. Meanwhile, Drew found herself defending her intentions on nearly every platform. On Good Morning America, she insisted, "I wasn't trying to attack Trevor. I respect him deeply, but I believe talk shows should challenge people, not just flatter them." The public wasn't convinced. Some accused her of hiding behind her, America's sweetheart persona, trying to be a tough journalist one moment and retreating into innocence the next. For the first time, Drew's sunny image showed cracks. Social media amplified the damage. Memes mocked her transformation, from cheerful host to hard-edged interrogator. TikTok skits reimagined her as Barbara Walters. By then, the feud overshadowed both of their careers. Trevor's comedy tour gained momentum, but every interview circled back to Drew. Drew's show, once cozy and safe, was now dissected for its balance, or lack thereof, between compassion and confrontation. Behind the scenes, producers debated whether she should avoid outspoken guests altogether to prevent another implosion. Then came the Golden Globes. Both Trevor and Drew were invited to present, scheduled back-to-back. Whether by coincidence or strategy, producers clearly knew it would draw eyes. Tabloids lit up with headlines like "Golden Globes Gamble, Trevor and Drew set for back-to-back appearances," and "Will he walk off again?" On the night of the ceremony, tension buzzed. Paparazzi caught Trevor and Drew arriving just minutes apart, carefully avoiding eye contact. Reporters shouted questions about the feud, but both offered only polite smiles. Backstage, they were placed in separate green rooms to avoid awkward run-ins. When Trevor took the stage, he delivered flawlessly, charming, sharp, in control. Minutes later, Drew appeared in a flowing gown, her tone warm, poised, and restrained. The audience held its breath, waiting for sparks. But Drew made no mention of Trevor, focusing entirely on her role. Her silence only fueled speculation. Was it maturity, damage control, or fear? Bloggers pounced. Trevor played it cool. Drew played it safe. Fans dissected every pause, every glance, every clipped syllable, as if decoding hidden messages. In the weeks that followed, rumors swirled about a possible reconciliation. Drew's producers reportedly pushed for Trevor to return for a makeup episode, convinced it would shatter ratings. Trevor teased the idea but remained cautious. "I'm not saying never," he laughed on a podcast, "but if I do, I'm bringing a lawyer and a fire extinguisher, just in case things heat up again." The joke got a laugh, but it left the door open. What began as a single daytime interview had morphed into an ongoing saga, reshaping both Trevor's and Drew's careers. Fans and critics alike waited for the next chapter, whether it would be reconciliation, another clash, or something in between. One thing was certain. Trevor Noah and Drew Barrymore's on-air battle was no fleeting headline. It had become one, of the most unforgettable, most dissected talk show moments of the decade. A rivalry that blurred entertainment and accountability, laughter and confrontation, leaving audiences hungry for more.